watching me speak the forbidden language that could save my grandmother's life. He had his phone out, recording everything, his face completely unreadable. She survived because the paramedics knew not to give her the medication she was allergic to. The doctor said the allergy information I'd translated saved her life, that the wrong medication would have killed her in minutes. The next morning, I walked into first period to find Principal Harris sitting at my teacher's desk with his laptop open. The whole class was dead silent. He turned the laptop toward me, showing security footage from the hallway with clear audio of me speaking rapid Spanish on my phone. "Would you like to explain?" he said, pulling out a suspension form with my name already filled in. "Why you thought you were exempt from our English-only policy." My legs felt like concrete blocks stuck to the floor. The whole class stared at me while Mr. Harris tapped his finger on the suspension form that already had my name written in black ink. My mouth went completely dry like I'd been eating sand. He wasn't really asking me anything. He was putting on a show for everyone else. The laptop screen kept playing the security footage on repeat, showing me running down the hall with my phone pressed to my ear. My hands started shaking when I tried to speak. My grandmother was dying and the paramedics couldn't understand which medication would kill her. Mr. Harris held up his hand to stop me before I could explain more. "Emergencies don't override school policy. You could have found another way." His voice stayed perfectly calm, but his eyes looked at me like I was just another problem to file away. The suspension form sat there between us like a guilty verdict that had already been decided before I even walked in. "Can I call my mom to explain what's happening?" He shook his head slowly. "She'll need to speak English during school hours or bring an approved interpreter." The whole class shifted in their seats, but nobody said anything. Even calling for help had rules attached to it. My hands shook harder as I slipped my phone back into my pocket. Mr. Harris opened his desk drawer and pulled out a thick packet of papers with yellow highlighter marks all over them. He pushed it across the desk toward me. "Your disciplinary hearing is scheduled for Thursday at 10 a.m., and you have the right to bring a parent or guardian, but all proceedings will be conducted in English only." The bell rang and everyone grabbed their bags and rushed out without looking at me. Their eyes stayed glued to the floor or their phones as they squeezed past my desk. Mr. Harris packed up his laptop and walked out, leaving me standing there alone with the packet in my hands. The hallway was already filling up with kids heading to second period when I finally made my legs move. Whispers followed me down the hall like a swarm of bees. Some kids pulled out their phones to text while staring at me. Others made jokes loud enough for me to hear about getting sent to Spanish jail. My face burned hot, but I kept walking and tried to look like I didn't care. The weight of what just happened pressed down on my chest, making it hard to breathe. Before I could get to my next class, the office secretary appeared in the hallway and told me to follow her. She led me to the administrative office and pointed at a hard plastic chair near the window. "You're excused from classes today, but you must remain here until dismissal." The fluorescent lights buzzed overhead, making my head hurt. I pulled out my phone to text my neighbor about my grandmother. My fingers fumbled over the keyboard as I typed, asking if she was okay after yesterday's emergency. The thought of her being alone at home made my stomach twist into knots. The secretary handed me a form and told me to write my official statement about the incident. The blank lines stared back at me. Everything sounded wrong when I tried to explain life and death situations in formal English. I kept starting over because my grammar mistakes made me look guilty of something worse than speaking Spanish. The secretary watched me struggle without offering any help. Her eyes followed my pen as I crossed out another sentence and started again. The words wouldn't come out right no matter how many times I tried. After my fifth attempt, I asked if I could get a copy of Mr. Harris's recording from the hallway. The secretary didn't even look up from her computer. "That's internal evidence that students can't access." My stomach dropped like I was falling off a cliff. They had proof I couldn't even see or respond to properly. The unfairness made my jaw clench so tight my teeth hurt. Another student sitting across from me waiting for something leaned over,